Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Muay Thai Saved Me. Guys, I am alongside my business partner, Edwin Lopez.
Edwin.
Insert hyphen as well, right?
Yeah,
You
I'm gonna get that tattooed.
Ooh, nice.
You should get that tattooed.
No. But anyways, Muay Thai Save Me, guys, is a podcast that we release every week where we just bring special guests onto our show and we like to talk about how Muay Thai has impacted their life in any way. And across from us is the famous Christine Song. Hi, Christine.
Hello. AKA the Korean killer, is that correct?
AKA the South Korean.
South Korean. Let's clarify that. What part of Korea, right? Yes. All right, want to make sure. They're both killers, though. You know. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is truly an honor to be here and to be able to sit across the table from the two of you and to just have a conversation about how this amazing sport and this gym has transformed so many lives.
Christine, tell everyone that doesn't know you, how did you find out about Muay Thai? Because there's so many things to do out there, right? But you chose Muay Thai. How did you come about that?
You know, I actually had no idea about Muay Thai. I joined this gym about 8 months ago in July last year. And it was at a point in my life where I just was having almost a meltdown, if you will, like a breakdown with just all the stresses of so much going on in life, professionally, at home, things like that. And I had taken, the cardio kickboxing in the past. So that was the only thing I knew about kickboxing.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed it. I knew that I needed to get back into a gym, something that was just my time, mine. Away from work, away from everybody else, mine. And, I just Googled kickboxing near me, and this place popped up. I live pretty close to the gym.
Okay.
And I did not know what Muay Thai was.
Yeah.
Truly, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
And I called the gym, and I spoke with Jen and with Kim, and I came in one day, and I just said, let me watch a class. So I came in and I watched an evening class. And I thought, wow, this is intense. So
you didn't even do a class. You just came just to watch.
I first wanted to watch a class. So in that office, in that big window, I watched a little bit of it. And I thought, wow, this is intense.
Yeah.
But then I came in a couple days later on a Saturday with the guest pass. I brought my sister with me because I didn't want to go by myself. And gosh, I tell you, just even halfway through the warm-up, my sister looked over at me. She's like, what's going on with you? And I was so out of shape, I think, that I was struggling through just even the warm-up. And then after the warm-up was done, I went to the restroom. I felt like I was going to throw up.
No. That was you, huh?
That was me. But that's really connected me to a lot of newcomers that have come in and that, they're huffing and puffing through that first class. And so then, of course, because I was in the restroom, I missed kind of the first instructions on what combo moves and whatnot. But it was a proud moment at the end of the class to know that I had gotten through it, and then went in and sat down and talked with Jen, and just remember sitting on the floor. I couldn't even sit on the chair in the office because I was just so drenched with sweat and exhausted, but just feeling so proud that I got through a class.
Yeah.
And so my sister was sitting on the chair looking down at the floor on me like, you need to do this. You need to get in here and do this. And Jen was telling me about all the different options, and at first, okay, well, 2 days a week, maybe I'll do that, and maybe I can do that package. And it really was my sister that just literally looked down at the floor at me because I was sitting at the floor saying, no, you need to get in here as much as you can. You need this. And so then I said, all right, let's do it. And then I wanted to get my money's worth, if you will. That was the first thing. I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to come here every single day. And so I kept doing that.
I love that. I love that.
And it just, the more and more I came out, the more and more I loved it. It wasn't even like the Muay Thai, the art of Muay Thai, because I didn't know anything about it yet. It was just being here, working out, knowing that it was something for me, because it was truly like, I remember you had asked me my very first day, so Christine, welcome to MTK Gym. what are your goals? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain more muscle? Do you want to get more tone? Do you want to get lean? And I remember like just that feeling that was in my throat, because I think all my emotions were coming up and welling up, and I had that lump in my throat, and I was like on the verge of tears, even on a very basic, simple question you asked me. And I had said, Crew, I just don't want to lose my mind.
Yeah.
And I said, that is my goal. I just don't want to lose my mind. And I said, anything else physically that comes from it is just icing on the cake. If I lose weight, if I gain, fabulous, but I just don't want to lose my mind. And it doesn't happen overnight. It was gradual, like being consistent. And that for me was a true success. Being able to come here and saying, okay, from the time I leave my home to the time I come back home, that is my time here. And there were many moments when you're here, then you start making friends and you feel safe here. The music is pumping, you're getting going, and it's this lively, like high energy place. And in the middle of it all, I'm just feeling like I was gonna break down crying, but that's just all the emotions that were building up, leading up to that point to come out here. And I've seen a couple of members that's happened to them too, but what an incredibly safe place for that to happen. And it's good. It's almost like a purging that needs to happen.
I always like to say it's detoxing. Not, when people feel sick, like they gotta go run the bathroom after the warm up. It's just their bodies are like rejecting they're trying to get rid of all that nasty food they've been putting in. It's trying to get out now. And our bodies are like, we're doing something about this. Let's get it out. And it's like a detox even for emotions and things that you're going through.
Right, truly transforming. And so the Transformation Fight Camp, even afterwards, I was really reflecting, like, what a very great choice of a way to call it transformation. Because this whole process, it wasn't just that single day.
That's right.
It's this whole process of being a member here, going through what the gym provides to you for whatever it is that you're looking for. Just strictly physical, maybe friendships in a community, emotionally. It truly has transformed. It really has transformed emotionally, mentally, great, like physically.
Yeah, absolutely.
How far would you say that separation is now from the moment of that nervous breakdown that you say you were almost there to where you are right now after 8 months? How far of a distance would you say you are from that? And then now when you do, because you're going to always go through struggles and have your bad days, right? Now, how do you feel that you handle that and take that and also get over that, if that makes sense?
It does. This place played a tremendous role in that process of transforming. And you're right, Edwin, I'm really happy that you mentioned, it's not a one-time thing. It is life. It is life, and more things will happen. But knowing that now I have the skill set, the ability, and the confidence to know that I can. I would say from, even just a year ago when you're kind of in the thick of all of that, because to get to that point where you feel like you're going to break down doesn't happen overnight. It's building up stress, like at work, just too much, and to the point where then you're not taking care of yourself in all regards. But I think now when I look back and to know what do I need to make sure that I do moving forward, so that doesn't happen again. It's not to say that I'm never going to have stress in my life, but how do I manage that? You know what? It's guarding what is so precious to you, guarding and making this a priority, because I know what I get from here. I know I get, there's days where, okay, so maybe physically I didn't give it my all, but boy, when I leave here after having seen my friends again and seeing people that I love and who I know love me, I leave here feeling so energized, feeling uplifted, and that helps me. And so knowing that this I need to protect. And so no matter how busy your schedule gets, you make this time, you guard it, and you don't let other things seep in and steal it from you or take it from you.
I love that, Christine. I love that.
And I kind of like that too, because it kind of goes down to the way you train the fighters, right? It's not, you never tell them, hey, you're never gonna get not hit, and you're never not gonna feel like you're almost gonna get knocked out. It's like, how do you handle that impact?
That's right.
Where does the training come into play for that? And how do you react to it, right?
That's
and
right.
it's kind of the same thing, right? Because a lot of people think like, well, this is only for fighters, and like, oh, Muay Thai is such a brutal sport, and it's only for people who want to fight. And it's like, some people don't want to come and fight,
Right.
but at the same time, you're fighting a different type of fight, emotionally,
right.
mentally, whatever it might be.
That's right.
And just like a fighter in the ring, it's like here, it's like it trains you to, hey, when life comes and it hits you and it knocks you on your ass, how do you react to it?
That's
you know what I mean? So
It is.
right?
Yeah,
Would you
absolutely.
agree?
That's one thing that Christine mentioned is that's one of our goals here at MTK is just we want to provide that space where it's not just for fighters. I want to change that outlook, because Muay Thai still has that, it's for fighters, and I don't want people to think of it that way. I want people to think that Muay Thai is something that anyone can do. All you got to do is just be patient and just make these consistent habits day by day, where you do your best. That's it. Every day, every class you take, you just do your best, but know that you're going to be in a safe place. Regardless of what skill level, whatever fitness level you're at, you're in a safe place where you're encouraged and you're inspired. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we have here, and that's why members like yourself really want to protect that, because this is the one sane place in this hectic world that we all live in. It's that same place where you feel safe, right? You're happy, and like you even said, there's days where you don't feel it, but just being here and I always tell people, like, maybe you're not having the greatest day. Maybe you're just really physically exhausted. Work on your technique. That's it. Just the fact that you're moving, it gets you out of that mindset of, because you could have easily stayed at home, right? You're feeling exhausted. You're tired. Maybe let me get a little extra rest, but you force yourself to come anyways. And then you left leaving energized. Now you're happy. You got to talk to some of your friends. Maybe your coaches say something in class where it just connects with you and you resonate with it, and you're just like, I'm so glad I came, right? And that's kind of like the space we want to give everyone here.
I agree.
You learn the techniques of this craft,
Yes.
of this art, but I think from a life skill standpoint, you're learning the art and the skill set of disciplining your mind.
Yes.
Because especially for someone like myself who came here because you want to separate your time from work. I needed something, and that was the other thing that I really liked about this place, is that because it was class-based versus like going to just an open gym where you just come and go as you please. So you could, like for myself, you could be on the computer working endlessly into the evening and just not stop. But because I knew I need to get to a class, I must walk away from my desk. I must leave the office. I must get to that class. I needed that structure. I needed that structure and something to call me away. But also coming here and learning the discipline of disciplining my mind. It's not to say the moment I walk through those doors that everything switches off, but I think that's where I'm starting to learn that too, where you could have had a very difficult day in the office. But you know what? I don't want that to even seep. I may be here physically, but I want to be here mentally as well. Fully engaged for that hour plus, not allowing the stress of what's going on outside of this place rob me of my time here.
Absolutely.
So that is where I am now, to go back to kind of your question of where do I see myself from a year ago to now. It's slowly, gradually, and that's the transition, and I think the progress that I'm making for myself. You're getting myself here physically, but then also like making sure that I'm here, present.
Christine, so I want to touch base on that. What are some tips that you did for yourself, for anyone that might be struggling with that, where they seem to bring their outside world into the class with them? What are some tips that you use for yourself that you could maybe share with other people to help them kind of turn off that switch and let me just be present in this moment right now when I'm in class? What are some tips that you could share with people?
Well, first I would say, like, give yourself credit, and a lot of credit for being here first, to getting here. So that I would say is half the battle.
Absolutely.
Getting yourself to come here. Once you are here, I would say, for me at least, it was, I don't want to waste my time. I was here. I owe it to myself to be here mentally, physically, here, be
love
present.
that.
But then also, if my mind is somewhere else, I respect my coaches. I don't want to waste their time either. They too have made that commitment to be here and give it their all for their students. So if my mind is in La La Land, which maybe sometimes it might look like it is, but if I'm in La La Land, maybe I'm not giving the full attention that I should be giving to my coaches. But more importantly, like, why are you robbing yourself? Why are you robbing yourself at that time? I think it also goes into, like, physically. You're already here, so then don't half-ass it. Don't cheat yourself. At the end of the day, it's really you. Don't cheat yourself. The other thing is, there was a day that right before I came here to class, got some, stressful news about work and something like that. And I'm like, I am not going to let that steal my time to come here just because I'm going to be continuing to work. I said, nope, I will deal with that when I get back. But boy, was that on my mind the whole time I was here. And because while I was holding pads or somebody, I just kept thinking about that email or almost got punched in the face because I wasn't paying attention. So I would say, if that doesn't motivate you, man, you got to be on high alert when you are holding pads, for someone's kicks or someone's punches. And so that too, if that's what you need, a nice like punch or kick in the face to get you to be like, hey, pay attention, then so be it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I think there's a lot of people that deal with that. A lot of people have, privately messaged me on Instagram, DM me, and just thanked me for just providing that type of environment. From the moment you guys walk in the door, you're getting greeted by someone, right? And that's been a thing of mine. Because, we walk into, I have a gym membership right now, and never fails, Christine, when I walk in that door, I don't get greeted by anyone. It's bad that I'm the one saying good morning to the guy, and the guy's like, oh, good morning. And it's like, wow. And as I'm leaving, I'm saying, have a great day. I'm the one saying, because that's my standard that I have for my members. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting, and that's what I want people to know. Like, the moment you walk in that door, here comes the MTK experience. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting greeted. And then, we're making a big thing when we see you, you know it. We're always making a big thing when you walk in that door, because we're all proud of you. You know what I mean? It takes a lot for like what you've endured. I was recently informed, I know you love pit bulls, right? It says it in your Instagram handle.
Shout out Benny.
Benny and Milo.
Benny and Milo. But Christine, I was unaware that your dad had Alzheimer's. I just recently learned that. And how has that been for you?
I would say, it's an awful disease. It's one that's degenerative, and so there's no cure, and it just gets worse. It's progressive.
Yeah.
That was one of the contributing factors to what, the stress, and it continues to be, and it will be. It was my professional life, but also, my father was living with me for many years, and, just as that awful disease progresses, the caretaker, and it's not just the physical of it, but the emotional side of it too, because, it tests your patience and it's not his fault. Like, it changes. For anyone that has that, it's a cognitive decline, whether it's their memory loss, short-term memory loss, so then those that they're interacting with constantly repeating themselves, but it's also the inability, you're losing the inability to logically understand your sense of reality is completely different. So I could see how it's also a very lonely disease, because for one that has it, like, you think that is reality, but then everybody else is telling you something different.
Wow.
So that's the struggle, and it was emotional for me, my family, my siblings to see. Okay, we know Dad. Like, we knew what his personality was. He was like a very kind of like stern man. Growing up, it was like, a lot of discipline, and, we had, like, just a little side fact, we had white carpet growing up as little kids, and it stayed white. Wow. And, that's how.
Wow. White carpet?
White carpet. I mean, my dad was white carpet, and
I didn't even know that
stayed
existed.
white.
Wow.
Right? Because, like, everything was clean. It was, like, discipline. And to know that he had that type of a personality, very diligent, hard worker, like hot temper, like very, and that just kind of gets a little bit more heightened, and that's hard to deal with, like, because then you're on the receiving end of that and the temper, and it's that emotional struggle, like it's not him, but it's kind of him, but then it's also, but when you're the target of it, that gets really hard, but then it's like this struggle. But just all the needs that come with that as well.
Yeah.
But I think that was part of also coming here. And to your point, Crew, about when you said, when you come here, you're greeted, you're a big deal, because everyone is.
Yeah.
I would even take it as far as to say, like, it's not just the staff or the coaches, it's everybody else that needs to make sure that other fellow members are feeling included, are feeling special, having those relationships, like if you see somebody sitting at a bag just, by themselves, and I'm not saying everyone's like chipper and wants to chat all the time, and I think that's where I need to be a little bit more
Can I just be
mindful.
honest without cutting you off? So just
even though you are
we
cutting me
have
off?
this thing where we have this thing where, like, you ever seen a football play where you're like, all right, who are you gonna give the ball to? We always look at the camera. We're like, Christina's here. Okay, guys, let's do remember to take it to Christine and everything. You know why? Because you are that perfect avatar that are just kind, caring, will take people under your wing and everything, and guide them. And it's like you said, not everybody's like that. You know what I mean? Majority of our members are. But there's just some energy about you that everybody's just
Thank you.
wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't even have to tell you much. We're like, Christine, such and such, okay, bye, and you take over.
Take it over, yeah.
Like,
Where do you feel like that giving, is that a natural trait that comes with you? Like, you're just a natural giver? Because that's what we've noticed from day one. The moment you fell in love with us, we noticed the Christine just came out. You were very giving. I know you've donated your time with us when we were doing stuff at Shepherd's Church, and you, Kim and Edwin and Jen, just talked highly of like how helpful you were. I was, teaching classes that day, so I couldn't be with you guys, but they all just said, like, you were just so helpful, and you do it out of genuine kindness. Where is that just a natural trait? Is that something that maybe you picked up from having to take care of your dad? Like, where does that?
And not only that, like, how do you know everything about people? Like, you'll be like, hey, happy birthday to Gizmo! And we'll be like, where do you get this? And like CIA stuff, and like, you'll have stuff, you'll have balloons, you'll have like a blimp outside, and you're like, hey! And you're like parachute into people's homes. And it's like, how do you know this information about people? Like, it seems like, people's birthdays, anniversaries, dog stuff, like anything, that it's going on. And it's so amazing because people are like, whoa, like, we'll come in here and we're like, see balloons, or we'll see something kind that you do for individuals. Like, how do you do it?
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
That's amazing.
Everybody has something about them that makes, like, there's a caring part. Everybody, like a nice talent or, something like that. And I think that's just, I've always been that way, I think. I know I've always been that way. But I really appreciate you guys acknowledging that, because I think, those that give, that's their love language. And so we also feed off of being, appreciated for that. And so thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I think it started, I was really impressed when I first came here, and then I remember Crew, you just knew everybody by name. You knew everybody by name, and that really does help, is the catalyst for other members to get to know, like, oh, okay, Susie over there, or Johnny over there, or, whoever. Because then now we get to know their name, even though we've seen them all the time, and it helps us to then connect with them.
Yeah.
So I think it starts there. But then, I get it. Not everybody is like social butterflies and things like that. I've just naturally always been, and I enjoy that. I enjoy getting, like, wanting people to feel welcome, like, be part of the group. I'd certainly want to have somebody come up to me if I was new somewhere, and making them feel welcomed. And, especially when it's for a place that you yourself value and treasure, and has done so much, you want that for that other person too. Like, I hope you too get out of this place whatever it is you're looking for, because I found it, and this place is so special to me. I hope that whatever I can do to make it a special place for you too, then let's do it.
Is that something you share with people when you talk with them? Do you share that exact pitch right there? Because that was beautiful. Like that was.
As they're wrapping their gloves and like they're warming and stretching up, and I'm going down each bag well. Well, it's hey, well, this is Christine. You're going to be paired up with her today. She's going to take care of you. Yeah, and I don't want to overwhelm them at the beginning. And it just slowly starts to develop into a relationship. And, and then that's when you get to know people and then find out, things. And you know what? I think now, this many months into it, the friendships are so meaningful. And you then see things that people are going through, and if you're that safe person that they feel like they can come to, then fabulous. Like I hope I can continue to serve as that purpose, but I get the same, from them as well, to know that even if I'm not having an individual conversation with them, just being here, seeing their faces and them saying, "Hey Christine, it's good to see you," that lifts me up. So I want to do the same for others.
I love that.
Same, yeah.
I love that.
And then being a member, do you notice when somebody hasn't been here for a while? Like, I know you take multiple classes, sometimes one or two, like 2 or 3 a day, right? Do you notice when individuals like, where is this person, and things like that?
And so I'll try to reach out to and say, hey, we really miss you, and then you get to know, like, sometimes if they're going through struggles, and so you reach out to them maybe in a different way, saying, hey, miss you, are you doing okay? How are you doing with whatever it is that they're going through? But I think it means a lot for them to know that, hey, somebody's reaching out to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get to know, there's like different crowds of like, there are ones that come in the morning or the day and then at night. So just because you don't see somebody in the evening doesn't mean that they don't come out, because they go to more of the daytime one, and vice versa.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Christine, because that's something I do. It's I'm always reaching out to people when, because I know everyone's name, so I know when certain people aren't coming, and that's my thing. I always like, hey, we miss you. So I appreciate you taking that step and, like, in a sense, like checking up on them, because it's one thing for the head trainer to do it. It's another thing for one of their peers to be like, hey, where have you been? Normally you're here at this time. I haven't seen you in several days.
It's not just your job. It's not just your job, and we as members shouldn't be just like, it's on the coaches to do that. There's like just a few of you coaches. There's one of you. There's one of Martine. There's one of Dave. There's only like 3 of you guys. There's hundreds of us. And so can't just leave it up to the coaches or the staff. It's all of our responsibilities.
I love that. And that's why our community is so strong. Christine, you were at the fights when David fought, and I truly believe, me and Edwin have talked about this many times, that's why we are the loudest gyms in the convention center, because our community is so strong and we love each other so much. That's why we're so loud, and we're not embarrassed about it. We're proud, right? We're proud. I think that's probably the best descriptive word. We're proud of where we come from and who we are in the Muay Thai community.
When David's fighting, when Martine's fighting, that's one of our own.
That's right.
That's one of our own, and we train with them. They train us.
Yeah.
Their success is our success.
Yeah.
They don't become successful fighters we all did it together.
That's right.
Whatever role you had in it, whether it's to pay, encouragements to them, whether you're in their fight camp or, whatever it is, from your role all the way down to every individual, we all got them there. We got the fighters there together.
I agree. And I wanted to ask you this, because obviously Muay Thai Save Me is for individuals who have, we want to reach out to people. And before, we end this episode, if you watch Muay Thai Save Me and you were back 8 months ago and you came in here and you went to our YouTube channel and the old you saw this episode, what would that message be to that person, that Christine looking at this episode? Because that's the whole point. We want somebody to see this. What would you tell that person? Because I think you are the perfect individual, and there's so many people out there, so much stress they're going through and different challenges in life. What would you tell Christine 8 months ago, if she was watching this episode today?
You know what? I'll take it another. I'll answer that question, and then I'll say, another thing is whether it was the Christine 8 months ago, or there's somebody watching today that's the Christine from 8 months ago. You have to get to that point where then you want something to change, and then you have to make the change. Nothing is going to change if you just continue to do the same thing. But you got to get to that point where it really then stirs in you, something has to be different. I like using that analogy, whether it's in a relationship or whatever it is, that merry-go-round, if it's not right, get off that ride. Get off that ride, because nothing is going to change. Your view is going to be the same. Do something different. And so that was the difference. Like, do something different, and not a difference for a momentary difference, because you're not going to see genuine change, because it takes time. Something that causes change immediately, I question whether it can be sustained, or whether it's actually going to cause true transformation.
That's right.
It has to take time.
Yeah.
And it's not to say I'm perfect now. No, I'm still on that process of change.
Right.
I forever will be.
That's
because
right.
the
We
8
all
months
are.
ago,
We
the
all
8
are.
months ago, or almost a year now, those were under those circumstances. What's to say tomorrow another set of life circumstances that are challenging might not come, but today the skill sets that I know now and that I could hope to continue to strengthen will then continue to cause that transformation. And it's funny because when we have the birthdays here and it's the birthday kicks and all that kind of stuff, and people are all different ages, and I think don't be ashamed of your age, because so I'm 43. I am 43 and I am so damn proud of it. And I had the conversation with a couple of people if you could go back to your 20s, would you want to? I'm like, hell no. No. Because I think, and I can see why now older people could appear to be grumpy. No, because, I know, because you've earned those wrinkles, you've earned those laugh lines, it is a privilege and a blessing to be able to celebrate another birthday. When people are like, man, I'm another year older, or they want to hide their age. Oh my gosh, be proud of your age. You get to live another year. You get to celebrate another year. And I think that comes from my mom. She passed away when we were very young. I lost my mother when I was 14 to cancer. And so she had cancer for several years. And now I am at an age where she was diagnosed with cancer. And it gives you a different perspective. Like, oh my gosh, that was young. That was really young when you think, oh, mom's old, dad's old, your parents are old, no matter how old they are. Yeah. But I'm like, she was young. And to think that, I'm sure she would have loved to be able to celebrate another year and whatnot. And the privilege of having health. And you had said it around the holiday, health as well. And that really hit truth, because it really is.
Yes.
And I was having this conversation with a couple of members. We get to work out. We have our bodies allow us to be able to, something as simple as to walk, to talk, to touch, to feel, all of those things. And we get to work out. Yes. We get to.
I remember reading a quote that really, I think I shared it with you not too long ago, that said, 10 years from now, you're going to wish you were that age. You know what I mean? Because we think like, oh my God, I'm 43 as well. And you think like, oh my God, I'm 40. But when we're 53, we're going to give anything to be 43 again. Sure. So we got to enjoy that.
And I think especially for women, we look back at picture, like, oh, not that picture. I look so weird. Like, oh, my double chin and, this and that. It's like, and then you look back at your pictures like, what was I thinking? You're like, I look great. Like, why was I, let's not waste the time that we're at now.
Absolutely.
To take your question even further, if I were to, standing now, be able to talk to the Christine 8 months ago, I'd say, I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for coming this far. But you have to do the work. Time will pass no matter what. It's what you do with that time. Yeah. So, little by little bit.
That's right.
I love
time will pass, whether you sit there and do nothing about it and you constantly dwell on the same thing. You're sitting in that dirty bath water of the negative thoughts. And that was the other reason that I needed to come here, because even if, let's say, I stepped away from my work, or I stepped away and I'm sitting on the couch, I can sit on that couch and still be stuck in those difficult thoughts, or I can come here, and if I continue to sit in those difficult thoughts, get punched in the face or take a kick to the face. So I'd rather be here and make sure, and then you leave a little bit more like, okay, it's going to be a little bit better. It's not going to be as bad because you're not consumed in that. You're not consumed in that. That's why for me, this is like, I need to protect this no matter what my schedule is. And it's not to say I'm going to be able to make every single class, but whatever it is, this is mine. I must protect this. This is a priority.
We love it. We love it, honestly. And I think with closing out with that is amazing because you have been a tremendous contributor to the culture here. I think we've all talked behind your back in good ways, you know what I mean? For the most part, but you have been just amazing. I remember, I remember hearing like, oh, that you were very hesitant to joining. I remember even a glimpse of you being here and all that, and like looking at you now and just the way we see you and what we think of you whenever we have new members. Like, you're just such an amazing individual, and we wish, like, if we put out an Indeed ad for members that we wanted, like, you would literally be that person, just because that's really what we seek for, people who not only want to come and do for themselves, but do for others. And I think that's what makes just about anything successful. And so we want to thank you for that. And we thank you for being here today. And I mean, I don't know what more to say.
I have to thank, my fellow gym mates too. Thank you for bringing me to where I am today. The coaches, the staff, the fellow gym members. Like, it was a group effort. And that's what, we're part of that group. Let's continue to do that for members, present, future, so that everybody can get what they need from this place.
Absolutely.
Life is hard. It's this world is hard, and so let's if we can lighten the load a little bit, a little bit, and just even not only from the mental transformation or the emotional, but then when you start seeing the physical transformation, it just catapults things. Your confidence goes up. You're healthier, so that you can live life better.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Christine, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and guys, that wraps up another episode of Muay Thai Save Me. Guys, stay tuned for next week's episode. And just remember, guys, Muay Thai Save Me is a podcast that we bring in interviewers to come, share their story of how Muay Thai has impacted them, okay? So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all right? There's lots of people out there that might need to hear Christine's message or any other people that we've had in prior interviews, okay? So have a great day, and we'll see you next week.